You have failed this city. Hi guys, welcome to the third episode of Superhero 101. Today we're going to be talking about the Green Arrow. The Emerald Archer made his first appearance in More Fun Comics number 73 in 1941. Oliver Queen, or Ollie, is a billionaire and owner of Queen Industries. He's also a well-known celebrity and fights crime at night as the Green Arrow. So Oliver's origin story starts with him as a kid, where he idolized Robin Hood. Even as a kid, he had a natural affinity for archery and would continue that as he grew up. However, as he grew up, he also became a thrill seeker and didn't really care about other people, kind of became a smug, rich guy. Didn't care much about others. This changed when he fell off his boat and washed ashore on Starfish Island with only a bow that he had used as a flotation device that was a memento from a Robin Hood film. On this island is where Oliver Queen changes as a person. He becomes a survivalist and a hunter, and he actually changes and no longer cares just about himself. While on the island, he also found a group of drug smugglers that were smuggling, I believe, heroin, and actually stopped them from, doing that. He stopped them and turned them in. And, that kind of set him on a path towards stopping bad guys and caring about other people. After stopping the drug smugglers, he returns to Star City and becomes the Green Arrow. Unlike other superheroes, the Green Arrow doesn't have any powers. He's more like Batman in that he only really has his own skills and abilities. These skills include, he's a master archer. It's insane how good he is. He's incredibly precise. He can fire 29 arrows in under a minute. And he can fire arrows at up to, I think, 117 miles per hour. This is insane. And he's incredibly precise, being able to, even shoot an arrow down the barrel of a gun with that level of precision. He's also a master martial artist, having trained with Nadas, who also trained Deathstroke. He knows kickboxing, judo, karate, basic martial arts, but very good at it. Oliver Queen is also an accomplished swordsman in that he's been able to, fight even Deathstroke off with a sword and been able to deflect an arrow that's shot at him with a sword. He's also an accomplished hunter, survivalist, acrobat, all the basic stuff. He's even an accomplished pilot, I believe, because he did have the aeroplane for a while in the comics. As far as his allies go, he is a member of the Justice League, but, he's not there all the time. He generally tries to, stay somewhat separate from them. Over the years, he's become more affiliated with them, but even then, he's not as big as a lot of the other players in the Justice League. However, he does have a sidekick, Speedy, who sometimes can be called the Red Arrow. The original Speedy did go on to become the Red Arrow in some comics. The original Speedy is Roy Harper, who even made a lot of comic book history by becoming a heroin addict, and that's actually a very big deal. And that's part of the thing about Green Arrow is they do tackle a lot of social issues through that comic. The next Speedy is Maya Dearden. And she, sometimes is there. It depends. It flips back and forth throughout the years, but the main Speedy generally is Roy Harper. However, that's not the only person that Green Arrow works with, as he often does work with Black Canary and even ends up marrying her, as he doesn't have a lot of love interests. He is sometimes shown as being, a very popular guy, has a lot of flings. However, he generally is shown as having a relationship with Black Canary, and it's kind of a very important thing, or Black Canary, or Dinah Lance, But that's a big deal, is that they do get married. It's this whole thing. He proves himself to her, and that really is his main love interest. The Green Arrow is also known for working with Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, and they had their own comic book series for quite a few years. It really was a popular thing, and it did last for a while. Finally, we get to the Green Arrow's villains, where he doesn't have as many recurring villains as a lot of superheroes. However, he does have a few main ones. His biggest villain and even his archenemy is the Dark Archer, or Merlin. It's funny because as a kid, Oliver actually looked up to Merlin and has arching abilities, and then come to find out that he's this dark archer and kind of becomes his arch enemy. The Green Arrow has also fought Deathstroke quite a few times, as said earlier, even though he is trained very similarly to Deathstroke, but it still happens quite a few times in the comic books. Another big villain, and even one of the older villains, dating back to, I believe, the Golden Age, is the Clock King, where it seems kind of funny, but it's just a guy that really is into clocks and has this whole thing with time. Very tragic backstory. I do suggest you look into it. It's very cool. However, that's probably one of his oldest enemies that still recurs. However, one of the Green Arrow's newer enemies is Cupid, where she's kind of this woman who actually has like this whole love for the Green Arrow and very much wants to like date him and loves him, but is kind of psychotic, and eventually she's like, if I can't have you, then I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kill anyone that's close to you. She even does sometimes kill or hurt the enemies of the Green Arrow, and she's a very complex character. It's very cool. Finally, we have just some of the cool things about the Green Arrow. Generally, the Green Arrow tries not to kill. He very much is one of those heroes that's like, I'm not going to kill, I'm just going to try to wound. Batman sometimes does that. It doesn't stop him from killing. Sometimes he does. However, he does feel remorse for that, and it's kind of this whole thing. The Green Arrow is often a comic book that very much tackles a lot of social issues, so I know that sometimes that's not what people want, but that is what a lot of comics do, and the Green Arrow does it quite a bit. And I know that it gets in trouble sometimes for it, but even with the heroin thing with Roy Harper, it's like, what are you doing? But I think that's really cool that a comic book does that, and I think if you're interested in that, definitely check out some Green Arrow comics. Well, I think that's about it. Arrow does come back this week. I'm either posting this Wednesday or Thursday. So if it's Wednesday, it's tomorrow. If it's Thursday, it's tonight. I do suggest checking out Arrow. I definitely think it's a really cool show. Well, I think that's it. If you have any other questions, hit me up in the comments. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.